We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
What is up, YouTube? I'm your friendly neighborhood N-Man64, bringing you some more MLB Power Pros. In the last episode, we had a pretty fun game against the Baltimore Orioles in Camden Yards, where we absolutely smoked them, as usual. But then we won another good game against them, off-screen, apparently. JD was named Pitcher of Rookie of the Month for the month of August, which is interesting. In fact, I am curious about that. Can we look and see? Is there like a thing where we can see this? Individual titles? Right? No, it's that one. Let's see. Monthly MVPs. Let's see. Timmy was the Rookie of the Month in the first month in April. May it was White. Wow, we have all the rookies winning Rookies of the Month. Whiteman in May. Timmy in June. Timmy in July. JD won it in August, and we'll just have to see who wins it in the month of September. JD, wow, Jamie Wright did not win Pitcher of the Month in 1 month of the year. That's actually baffling to me. I wonder why. I don't know. Maybe he's got a chip on his shoulder or something. And, oh, he's starting today. Oh, that could explain it. Yeah, we haven't seen Jamie Wright pitch in a while, so may as well let Jamie Wright get some much-needed innings. I've let Marcus Timms keep batting, and he has kept on hitting. Everyone else is pretty much where you expect them to be. And while Marcus Timms is a little down and out, I think we should let him have a day off here. And we'll let Lou Ford bat 6th in left field. I don't think we really need him today. I have a feeling with Jamie Wright on the mound, I have a feeling we can actually win this game handedly. Remember, we did use him on opening day, and he threw a perfect game against Oakland. So we'll just have to see how our ace does today.
Allow us to extend a hearty welcome to all.
And we are home again, so that's going to be fun.
Leading off this inning will be
.360 ERA. That's disgusting.
Here we go with the first pitch.
But, as you would expect, it's still a game, and with the wild card races as close as they are, and yes, Seattle and the Rangers have come out of nowhere and are still trying to fight for these spots, even though I would say I'm 90% sure it's going to go to the Angels or White Sox. It's still interesting to see some teams just keep on fighting. And a lot of people think that's a bad thing for baseball because they want to, like, subtract the amount of playoff teams.
Here we go with the first
yeah, but it dilutes the experience of playoff teams. I'm like, what are you talking about? Baseball has never been about just the 2 best teams going at it, except in the years where there were, like, 10 teams.
No errors. The White Sox, 0.
You gotta understand, this is baseball's gonna go. If you want the sport to be successful and expand, you have to let you have to give other teams shots.
He's set to deliver the first pitch.
Hell,
he pulled that first
someone
pitch.
said that the World Series should I remember seeing someone post something where it was the 2 best records should be in the World Series, regardless. And I'm like,
out.
Well, then how many best record teams would have not been in the World Series?
To deliver the first pitch.
My go-to examples are always
hit to center field.
This specific run of baseball from 2006 to 2008, where the Power Pros games take part in. Because if you go by that run specifically, I know there are some years where, yes, the 2 best teams do end up playing each other in the World Series, but it's not that often. 2006, the teams with the best records in MLB, or in the National League and the American League, were the Mets and the Yankees. So, by logic, the Mets and Yankees should have been in the World Series, but they weren't. The Mets had no pitching by that point, were gassed, and the Yankees were a time bomb at that point, and that's why the Tigers beat them so easily.
Looks like they could capitalize on this.
2007, the only reason the Diamondbacks had the best record in 2007 wasn't because wasn't because they were a great team. They were a very weird team that just somehow lucked into a playoff spot. But on top of that, the Mets collapsed out of a playoff spot where they easily had the best record in the National League until September. And the Diamondbacks just squeaked in as the best record in the NL. In the AL, I believe it was a tie between Cleveland and Boston for the best record. And the Red Sox would be in the World Series. But how would you have handled that situation? Would you have had them play a 3-game playoff to determine it?
That's the final
and
out.
then 2008 to me is always the funniest.
No errors.
2008, the two best teams in terms of record were the Angels and the Cubs.
He's set to deliver the first pitch. Foul.
And as many people know, neither team was in the World Series in 08.
Going to the opposite field.
The Cubs won 97 games and then got absolutely smoked by the Dodgers.
Next up, Jermaine Time.
And then the Angels won 100 games. Many expected that would be the year that they stole LA from the Dodgers. The Dodgers went out and got Manny Ramirez, and then the Red Sox ended up smoking the Angels in the playoffs.
Next at bat, A.J. Pierzynski. It's a strike.
It's not an indicator of what the best teams in the league are. Like, everyone sits there and goes, oh, well, it's diluting the experience because
he pulled that one well.
I don't want teams with 84 wins getting in the playoffs. I'm like, it's still going to happen. There are still plenty of years where mediocre teams have gotten into the playoffs. The 1973 Mets won 82 games and somehow won the division. And then beat Cincinnati, who was a much better team, in the playoffs and almost beat Oakland in the World Series that year.
No runs, one hit. Las Vegas are now
the 1984 Kansas City Royals were the last team standing in an AL West that was absolutely dreadful. The Angels couldn't do anything right. The Twins weren't good enough. The A's were bad. The Rangers were bad.
Next up, West, Las Vegas.
And then naturally the Royals were the last team standing, and they went in with like 85 wins. The Minnesota Twins of 1987. Won 85 games, won their division, and won the World Series. The 2006 Cardinals, as painful as it is for me to say, beat the 97-win Mets team and a 94-95-win Tiger team to win the World Series.
Has had a base hit already.
The best record doesn't mean anything.
He hits the first pitch.
It's which team is built best, which team is the hottest, which team is able to endure the most. It does not matter which team won 100 games in the playoffs. How many times has the best record in baseball and all of these sports ended up losing?
He's behind in the count.
It's so often. How much, like they talk in hockey about the President's Trophy curse, where a team will go with the best record
now in the batter's box.
In hockey, they get the President's Trophy. And how often does the President's Trophy end up resulting in a team getting absolutely decimated in the playoffs?
Here's Dad, strikes out.
Like the Tampa Bay Lightning that were not supposed to win anything a few years back, getting absolutely smoked by the Columbus Blue Jackets. You have so many other examples of it in hockey, but like baseball, it's the same in baseball. Like, just because you have
right between third base and shortstop, hit to left field. Podsednik gets a base hit to left field.
It doesn't matter what your record is in baseball. As long as you are competitive, you have a chance.
No runs, one hit, no hit.
And that's why they're trying to get rid of tanking in the game, which I 100% agree with.
He popped up to second his first time.
Then again, I'm also one of those, I hate being stuck in the middle type teams. Like, I hate being a team that has no real shot of competing, but has no real shot at like the number one overall pick. So I'm always in favor of, if you can't win, just tank. So like, for me, it's a situational thing, but I am in favor of teams that have no reason to tank. Like, you go, for example, like you look at teams that like purposefully tank to expedite rebuilds and stuff like that. I get that.
He let that one go by. It's a ball.
I would have swung at that.
Infield pop-up.
Just under it.
He's in position.
But no, like I get why people don't like the tank.
No hits.
It's like there's no reason some teams should be tanking.
And we're going into the 4th inning.
But it's also shown signs that you can
he
build
popped up to
decent
catcher in
teams
foul
with that.
territory his first at bat.
Like the Astros and the
He
and
pulled
the
that
Cubs.
one well. Foul ball.
Teams that tanked, rebuilt their rosters,
Fouled it
and
off
then
his foot.
were juggernauts for a while. The Astros are probably on their last
Infield grounder.
run of
Throwing to
being a
first.
very good team this year.
One away.
And
is retired on an infield grounder.
the Cubs
Next
run
at bat,
ended in
Paul
2021, but
He
they're starting
grounded
up
first
another
last
one.
time up.
But again, like I said, it works sometimes.
Strike. He's behind in the count.
But I can see why they want to get rid of it.
Konerko
Because it's
struck
like,
out
oh, it
in
lacks
3 pitches. Next at
competitiveness.
bat, Jermaine
And to be
Dunn,
honest, I
riding a
totally get that,
five-game hitting
especially
streak, is
from
now
a
at the plate.
standpoint where
It's a strike. He put
you've
that first
got
pitch right in there.
friggin' teams that are not even trying to win.
He
Like, you look at
drives
the
it to the opposite
Pirates.
field.
They're a team that's not even trying to win. And that kind of disappoints me.
Gets a base hit to right field.
They
AJ
could be
Pierzynski
such a
has had a base
good
hit
team.
already
They have
in
a
this game.
beautiful ballpark.
It's a strike.
PNC Park is probably my favorite
Pierzynski
ballpark
strikes
in
out.
all of baseball. And it's just a shame that it's going
No
to
runs,
waste
one hit,
year
no
after
errors,
year
one man
because
left
the
on
Pirates
base.
just don't want to
We
field
enter the bottom of the
competitive
4th
team.
inning.
And that falls on ownership,
Las Vegas,
which is a big, in my opinion, is a much bigger issue baseball
Here we go,
has
the
than
first pitch.
teams tanking.
Pulled
It's the
inside.
fact that owners aren't spending money.
He whacked the
beautiful.
ball with that one.
Nice shot,
3-0.
Lou.
Las Vegas extend their lead to 3.
Just enough contact and knocked it right off on the foul
home
pole.
plate
I'll
after
take that.
circling the bases.
Shows that we have a decent bench, which is important
Here
for
we
baseball.
go, the first pitch.
But I personally, getting back to what I was saying, I think it's more of a problem that there's bad
One away.
ownership in baseball than there is
Ryan Schneider
teams
got a double
tanking.
in his last at bat.
You know what? Teams wouldn't be
Here we go
tanking
for the
forever
first
if
pitch.
owners were investing in their clubs.
The ball makes
And
contact
so
near
many
the
of
grip.
these owners are just
He steps
refusing
in the
to
bag
do
and
it.
makes the play unassisted. 2 away.
Like, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that
the shortstop his
the
first time
owner
up.
of
He's set to deliver
Tampa
the
Bay
first pitch.
should be investing
Thrown to
in
first.
free agency
Out.
the same
That's the
amount
final out.
that, say,
1 run, 1 hit, no errors.
the Dodgers ownership or Steve Cohen with the
White
Mets or
Sox
the
are down by
Steinbrenners or the
3
Yankees
runs.
can do.
Here we go, the
'Cause obviously
first
that's not possible.
It's a strike.
But we should not be seeing every free agent go
He
to
pulled
5
that
teams.
one well. He caught it. 1 away.
And for a while that wasn't
Right.
happening.
Tires the
Teams
batter
were
with a
going
line
out
to
and
third.
signing players
Next
for
up,
1 or
Ron
2 year
Uribe.
deals.
Off the head
And
of the
now
bat.
they're just not doing it anymore.
West got that one.
Like, you would
Right.
go out and you'd
Tires the
sign a
batter with
guy
a liner
like the
short.
Rays would go out there and sign a guy like Johnny Damon
Here we go, the first pitch.
to be a DH for the club. And he would be a pretty decent player for them. And the Angels would do the same thing with Hideki Matsui, and you have so many other different examples over the years of teams giving out contracts to free agents, and now the owners aren't doing that. Now, not all owners are like that, because obviously you have owners that are spending money.
It's a strike.
Guys like the owner in Arizona who just gave Corbin Burns a
The bat makes
dump truck
contact with the
full of
ball.
money.
Uribe got that one.
The
1
Giants
away.
owner just paid out a ton of
Next at
money for
bat,
Justin
White Sox.
Verlander and Willie Adames.
Here we go, the
At
first
the
pitch.
aforementioned Steve
He hits the
Cohen
first
giving
pitch.
Juan Soto the
Thrown to
biggest
first.
contract in
Out.
baseball history.
The
Phillies give out money. The Dodgers and Yankees obviously give out
Here we
money.
go for the first pitch.
The Cubs give out money. It's just a matter that there are just so many bad owners in baseball that
Line
are
drive to
just not
center field.
spending money
There's a hit.
that they have and can
The batter is
use,
going for second.
and are just actively not
Batter
choosing
stops
to
on
reinvest
second.
it in the club. They're choosing to pad their pockets. The worst examples of which, in my opinion,
hit
are
already in this game. Las
ownership
Vegas could
in
stretch their lead here.
Pittsburgh,
Hit the first pitch.
ownership for
It's a
the
hit.
White Sox, Jerry Reinsdorf,
He
and then the
throws to
owner of the
cutoff man.
Cincinnati Reds. Actually, now also the owner
Scott
of Tampa
Spezio
Bay.
has had a double already in this game. Las Vegas could stretch their lead here. He belts one off the first pitch.
Up. Ooh,
There's a hit.
extra
It
bases,
bounced
I'll
off
take
the
that.
wall. He throws to the cutoff man. Las Vegas extend their lead to 4.
There's just so
Spezio hits
many
it over
bad
the center
owners
fielder's
in
head for an
baseball. It's
RBI
so
double.
unfortunate.
Spezio gets his second RBI of the game.
It's just so
Ford
unfortunate.
got a home
that,
run
like,
in his
you can
last
have-
at-bat.
You can have a league where every team, with the exception of a
Inning is coming
handful,
up
are
next. Scott
competitive.
Podsednik has
And
had a
they're
base
just
hit
actively
already in this
choosing
game.
not to do
Swing and a
it.
miss.
Like, I get the owners that don't have money but have, like,
He's behind in the count.
very deep farm systems or stuff
Infield
like that, like
grounder.
how
It was a
Milwaukee
high hopper.
operates.
How about
I
first?
don't blame how the
Out.
Brewers
1
operate.
away.
They have to operate cheaper, but they also have a very good overall farm system. They have good young players under contract, so they can probably afford to not sign any big free agents, but if they need to make some trades, they'll make the shrewd, smart trades.
Next at bat, Jim Thome.
I can't believe that there are some teams. I believe that there are some teams, however, that are just actively not doing that.
It's a strike. He's behind.
Like the Pirates are a big example of it. Like you had to twist Pirates owner's arm just to give their player Brian Reynolds, probably the best player the Pirates have had in like 10 years, an extension a couple years back. They had to twist his arm just to get an extension for him.
There's a timeout on the field.
Like that's you shouldn't be doing that. And again, the Pirates just let so much talent of theirs in the 2010s just walk away for nothing.
Here we go for the first pitch. There's the first pitch, and it's
Andrew
hit.
McCutchen getting traded for the aforementioned Brian Reynolds, who ended up being a good trade.
Ryan Schneider has had a
Garrett
double
Cole getting traded to Houston.
He's set to deliver the first pitch. He hit it too
Marte
high.
getting traded. Gregor Polanco falling apart. Neil Walker. This is not a good time. After the Pirates lost in 2015, you just saw that there was like
there's the first pitch.
They were not going to be competitive.
The first base runner's off the base.
Because they still had the pieces. They could still be good competitive teams.
Here we go for the first pitch.
They
He hit the
just
first
didn't
pitch
do
once
it.
again. The ball has hit the outfield for a base hit.
And then when the times they shouldn't have been competitive, or they should have been trying to focus on retooling, what did they do? They decided, oh, we'll be competitive. Like that year they ended up winning like 11 games in a row and thought that they were going to be competitive, and then
the game heads into the seventh inning.
bought at the deadline like the most expensive rental pitcher out there, and it cost them like their entire farm, and they didn't do anything.
Right, retires the batter with a liner to short.
I can respect a team that tries, but when you don't do anything else to supplement it, you're not going to win.
It's a strike.
My go-to example with that is the Mets of this particular era for the Power Pros game. 2004, the Mets were a dumpster fire, but they had some decent young players come through.
A.J.
Jose Reyes. Pieces that you could build around for the future. But you needed more pieces. You signed an ace in Pedro Martinez, and you got the best outfield, the best superstar on the free agent department in Carlos Beltran. So they go from winning 71, 72 games to winning
We enter the bottom of the seventh inning.
83 in 2005. But it's clear they still need more. So they go out and get Carlos Delgado. They go out and get Paul LaDuca to replace Mike Piazza. They go and get Billy Wagner for the bullpen. And the results of making all of these moves is that the club finally started to win. When ownership stopped investing, which they did in 2007, 2008,
Piazza gets a base hit to left field.
Showed that the Mets just could not keep up with the Joneses because they had the worst ownership in baseball.
Could stretch their lead here.
They had to sell. But there's so many videos on YouTube dissecting the
Here we go, the first pitch. He cashes in on the first pitch.
I could not
There's a hit.
just get into it right now. So I'm gonna find the video while we're setting up the rest of this game. And I'm going to show you that and probably share a link of it in the description.
Drops in for a base hit.
I believe it was Stark Raving Sports who did the video covering them. There's a lot of sports talk things on YouTube that have like documentary style things about ownership or just like baseball stories in general. I think it was Stark Raving Sports.
Schneider batting in the clutch, hits the ball to right center field. Now batting is rookie player West. Strike.
Yes, it was. It was Stark Raving Sports. Meet the Wilpons.
Big swing to right field.
Probably one of the most in-depth looks at just how awful the Wilpons were as owners of the Mets, and how Met fans should be praying to the baseball gods that they're finally gone. Even though they're still on like 5% of the team.
2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 3 men left.
The
White Sox are now up to bat. He's set to deliver the first pitch.
Well, I kind of don't want to be the Mets in 08. I mean, granted, I would get Ryan Church on my roster
The ball has hit
again,
the outfield for a base hit.
But
Creedy gets a base
do I
hit to
want to
center
really
field.
give the
Next at
Wilpons
bat,
something
Juan
to
Uribe.
cheer
That's a
about?
strike.
Even though it is the game, even though it is the game, this game's version where the Wilpon controversies don't exist.
Next up, Darren Erstad.
And by God,
He's
there
set
were
to
plenty.
deliver the first
The
pitch.
Bernie Madoff scandal,
It's a strike.
Friggin'
He's behind in the count.
getting sued by former team investors. The whole Steve Cohen buying the Mets fiasco.
Right
Before the pandemic knocked out everything was the most frustrating thing I've ever seen.
He pulled that one well.
They insisted that there had to be a 5-year period where they just used Cohen's money to compete. And I'm like, who the frig is going to accept that kind of a deal?
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left
And it was
on base.
all, and it
White
wasn't even
Sox,
the,
0,
it wasn't
Vegas,
even the
6.
old man Wilpon's idea. It was the son.
The
This
2, 3, and 4
miserable
batters
trust
are due
fund
this inning.
brat
Here we go,
who,
the first pitch, strike.
accomplish nothing with his life that his dad didn't help him do. He would never have been a good baseball player if he wasn't playing baseball when his dad bought the Mets. So they brought him in, and he was terrible. He's a terrible scout. He was a terrible front office guy. Terrible. He was just terrible. But who are you? Who's going to accept the deal where they give you money, but then they don't get to own the Mets for 5 years? You get to use their money for 5 years. And if they choose to at the end of that 5 years, they can bow out. Like, who the hell is going to accept that offer?
Goes back. It's a hit.
Oh my God! Just the idea that there was actually a team out there that thought that was a good idea just boggles the mind.
Driven to the right center gap.
It really does.
It's a hit. Relayed to second. Las Vegas extend their lead to 7. Ford batting in the clutch.
I haven't even talked about the wild card race in this game. This has just been the N-Man's gripes with baseball episode.
Here we go, the first pitch. He connects with the first pitch.
But it doesn't matter because Jamie Wright starts. And when Jamie Wright pitches, I kind of don't have to really pay attention.
He throws to the cutoff man.
Which I'm sort of thankful for.
Las Vegas get 3 consecutive hits. Here we go for the first pitch. He hit the first pitch once again. There's the third out. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 2 men. And now we are here in the 9th inning. Tadahito Iguchi
I don't have to worry about
twice
them.
in this
You
game.
know, Wilpons are
strike.
For the most part.
Foul.
And now all the problems with the Mets fall on a new man's
Iguchi
head.
has struck out in 2 consecutive
And no, it's not
at-bats.
Cohen,
Right
because
is
Cohen's
2
been
outs
spending
away from
money.
a
I can't
shutout.
complain about
Next
Cohen's
at bat,
spending
Jim
money.
Thome. Here we go for the first pitch. It's a strike.
It falls on the heads of the Met guy calling the shots.
Count 1-1.
President of baseball ops, if you will. Mr. Stern.
Is in a big
And in his
hole.
first year, he took the Mets within a few games of the World
Swing and a
Series.
miss,
So
strike 3.
he's got a good
2
track
consecutive strikeouts. Right
better than
is
the last
1
few
out away
guys they
from a
had.
shutout. Next up, Paul Cornetto.
Construction of this roster.
High and to the left.
Ooh, bad
It's a
pitch.
He throws to second.
Ooh, a hard hit ball by Paulie
Batter
K.
stops on second.
Paul Cornetto.
Next up, Jermaine Ty. Here we go, the first pitch. He hits the first pitch. Foul.
All right. Sinker.
Swing and a miss. This next pitch could decide it.
And let's go for that nice
Goes after it,
sweeping
but
curve.
comes up
Beautiful.
empty. Strike 3.
I know it's a
Ty
slow curve,
strikes
but I
out.
don't care.
And that's the ball game. Right pitches a shutout.
We needed a shutout, and we stymied the White Sox in the process. GG's, as the kids say. GG's indeed.
The winning pitcher is right.
Ezio got the drive in the winning run. Did we do that? Oh no, Lou Ford hit a home run. I was about to say, did we do that without hitting a home run? Because that would have been impressive. Jamie Wright has 3 losses on the year. That's baffling to me. He has as many losses as both JD and Scott Kazmir do. But he also has like double their win totals. So, White Sox lose, Angels lose. Seattle and Texas both win. The Tigers win. Oh, wow. This is going to be a very, very crazy wild card race. In fact, I want to look at the standings and see how they're going. Oh, we have a magic number. Cool. Let's keep with it till the end and make sure we win the division. The magic number usually sits at 20 in this particular game. which means if you can just rattle off 20 wins, you're good. But there's also the instances where you can lose, or the team you lose, or you lose and the team wins. Fact of the matter is, if we win 10 games and the Angels lose 10 games, then the division's over. That just means within 20 games, we will clinch the division, which is good. Sometimes the number can not go down, sometimes the number will go down. But thank God we haven't met lucky number. Let's see. We have a lucky number. The Twins running away with their division. Yankees already won theirs. Let's see. The Mets. Oh, the Giants. This is a fun division, the NL West. Giants and Dodgers riding each other. The Rockies are still technically in it. It's not like the Cubs and the Mets who are just running away with theirs. And the wild card looks like it's going to come out of the West, so that's interesting. In the American League, Baltimore's still good, but they're not really in much of a race. I think Seattle's running out of gas, but they're still technically winning, so there's that. Texas is still in it. The White Sox and the Tigers are both in it too. Oh my God, this is going to be crazy. One way or another, this is going to be a crazy run with the wild card. I don't know who our next opponent is going to be, depending on how fast the lucky numbers go down. It could be Oakland, it could be Kansas City, it could be Seattle. I don't know who our next opponent is, but it will be Clincher Day. And that'll be the last regular season game of the year. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm your friendly neighborhood Edman64, and I will see you guys on Clincher Day, depending on who it is. Until we meet again, my lovelies, sayonara.